I sent 6,500 cold emails, got 61 interested leads, and booked 17 sales calls in just 20 days without sending anywhere near a million cold emails. And later, I'm going to show you the campaign that got a client writing back, "How did you even know I needed this?" So everything you heard about cold email nowadays in 2026 is literally this. They all say, "Oh, just send more. You don't need to personalize. Just blast everyone and anyone," right? And I'm going to show you why that logic is backwards and why it's hurting your conversion rates with cold emails. Here are 3 things that are actually working in cold email right now from all real campaigns, all with receipts one by one. And number 3, by the way, is the reason why the other 2 work at all. So stay till the end, and that's the one that will change everything for you. So you see, here's why this all matters. Cold email is an ever-evolving outreach method. So the same things that worked in cold email a year or even 2 years ago is just dead. The people that are still blasting these thousands and thousands of huge lists are usually the ones that are getting 0 replies and just burning their domains and landing in spam. Everything I'm going to show here today is the opposite of send more. And in fact, it's actually send less, and it's what's booking us a lot of calls. And fair warning, number 1 is literally going to sound insane and sound backwards because it literally means deleting most of your list on purpose. Let's get right into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is what's actually working with cold email in 2026 with 3 real life examples and real receipts that I can show you. Let's get right to it, right? So the first thing is that precision will beat volume. I know people like Hormozy have always said volume beats luck, volume negates luck. And while that is true, I think nowadays in 2026, it's more important than ever to have a precise and very, very filtered targeting. Because think about it, with the rise of tools like Instantly and Smart Lead, literally, even your grandma can go to Instantly or Smart Lead, spin up new domains, grab a list from Apollo, and just send out thousands and thousands of cold emails for like $200-300 a month. It's so fucking cheap and it's so easy to do. It's super seamless as well. And so the only way to beat that, if everybody can send volume, yes, you could technically send more volume, but then you're just gonna have to pay more and you have to like do more. But why not do less and send less and get better results? This is what I mean by this, right? So this list right here is all about precision. We had a list of about 3,255 people, but only 2,202 people actually fit the criteria, meaning 1/3 of the list literally got slashed. And back in the day, whenever I used to run campaigns like this, I was like, "Oh, the client is losing 1,000 leads," or "I'm losing 1,000 leads on this. Is this really worth it?" Ended up being worth it because the people that we're actually reaching out to are very qualified and actually people who are actually a good fit, right? So let me show you exactly what we did here when it came to this campaign, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So this is the actual list example, just because I don't want to leave you guys hanging of what we actually did. So for this specific client, we're going after specialty manufacturing, very kind of niche, right? But they're an M&A firm, and so they don't want people. The M&A meaning, and to give you more insight into what the M&A stuff actually means if you don't know, M&A meaning they help you buy and sell companies. And so in this case, they want to reach out to potential people who are interested in selling their companies. But one of the filters that they had here was that the people that we're reaching out to have to be a privately owned company, right? And so we don't want people who are owned by some other subsidiary or they have a bigger company or a private equity firm that's owning them. Think about like the best example I could give you for something like this. Think about like, let's say you started your own coffee shop, right? You have your own local coffee shop and you're doing everything right, but you're getting to that age now where you want to sell your business, you want to retire. And so if but you have 2 options, right? There is 2 versions of you. One version stays put, doesn't do anything, and they just stay as is, and they use an M&A broker like our client. And the other version just sells to the big corporation like Starbucks immediately. And so we don't want anything that's a subsidiary, that's like a fucking a junior company of a bigger company. Like let's say like a coffee shop example. We don't want any companies that are owned by Starbucks, right, or Dunkin' or whatever it may be. And then on top of that, we don't want any companies that already are with a private equity group because we can't get into the ownership stuff. And so you can tell this is, and you don't need to know this M&A lingo and stuff, but I'm saying this as an example to tell you that if you're precise with your targeting and you filter out for this type of stuff, you will get substantially better results. And so all we're doing here, the reason why this list went from 3.2K to 2.2K is we wanted to make sure that they're independent owner. And if it's unclear, we don't want to reach out to them because it's not really worth it, because we're just sending to the abyss. It's not really worth it. They're not gonna get on a call with our client. We'd waste our client's time. And on top of that, if they are a part of some group, they also waste our client's time. So we don't want any of that, right? And so with this, we're only reaching out to people who are independent. And this is the type of stuff that, you have to get precise with your targeting. So whether it be stuff like this, where you're looking at the ownership end, whether it be if you're, using AI to estimate the revenue or the employee headcount or anything else of that factor of like, hey, this business is an actual good fit for my services. This is the type of stuff you want to do, because the precision, you will send less emails, but you get much better results with the copy itself. So that's step number one, or the biggest lever you can pull right now. Literally look at your list. When you pull the list off of AI, Ark, Apollo, whatever you use nowadays, and I want you to score it and score the lead. And if it doesn't match what you're looking for, delete it. I remember we ran a similar campaign for someone who was targeting dental clinics, and this is probably going to be beneficial to all of the marketing folks who work with me or who watch my channel. And what we did for them was he only wanted to target clinics that had 2 doctors, because if they have 2 doctors, they're more likely to have a higher budget, right? And so we ran the same thing where we just made a prompt like this on Clay, and we just told him, hey, take a look at this company, go to their website and go to their About Us page, because usually dentists have like the team page, right? And if they have 2 doctors or more, then it's good. If they don't have 2 doctors or more, it's bad. And then we would delete it. So that dramatically reduced the amount of leads you sent to, but the results that we had got much, much better in terms of higher quality leads. So that's the first big lever that you could pull when you're doing cold email in 2026. And then the second thing after precision is that you want tight niches. So an example I'm going to give you is fractional CFO campaign that I run, right? This is a very, very, very niche, like very niche set of companies. There's not that many in the US. And even then, there's not that many that even have employees. And so you can see the campaign results I got here. There was about 2,000 total leads that matched our exact criteria fit. 5,700 emails were sent. So we sent to no, even less. This must have been 1,700 or 1,800, something like that. But 5,700 total emails were sent. It's 1.9K. It's right here. But 5,700 total emails were sent. We got 19 interested leads, 11 booked calls, and 2 verbal closes that I'm waiting on to close after we launch this campaign. And the reason why this works is it's super niche, which means the copy and the offer that you have when you reach out to people can be exactly tailored to that specific person. Here's an example from $100 million offers that Alex Mosey gave that I think fits it really well. By the way, it's on my bookshelf. I don't know if you can see it back there. But if you have just time management, it's it's very broad, so it's just $19. If you have time management for sales reps, $99. If you have time management for outbound B2B sales, $499. But then if you have time management for outbound B2B power tools and gardening sales reps, it's $19.97. Right? So the more niche you are, the more specific you can get. Now, you want to also balance out volume, obviously, because the beauty behind cold emails, you can send to thousands of people. But occasionally, I would recommend you run these sorts of campaigns where there's only 2,000 people that match your fit, and you just blast it out to them. But they're so specific and niche that they match exactly what they're looking for or what you're looking for, and your copy and your offer can be literally tailored to them, and it'll convert so much better. Like, these stats are insane. 11 booked calls and 2 verbal closes is pretty good, although I know you guys will dog me for my close rate. But keep in mind, some of these guys, to my defense, some of these guys aren't as qualified. And so, with that being said, you want to get very specific, because again, you can make it very, very tailored. You can make the offer very tailored to them. So tight niches. One, look at your entire niche, map out the entire universe, and then be like, okay, what are some subsections I can go after? Let's say you're doing like solar. And then you're like, okay, well, I could do residential. Instead of just blasting out to all of solar, you could do residential solar and then commercial solar. And then you just reach out, you split it by the niche. You can even do this by like states. So, okay, I'm going to target residential solar companies in Texas. And on this other campaign, I'm going to target residential solar companies in California. That's just an example I can give you, but you want to look at your niche and get very tight on the targeting, because I guarantee you there's like a sub niche in your niche. So that's the second lever that you can pull. Finally, the third one is the number one thing, the best thing, the biggest thing I see working in cold email right now. It's not the list, it's not the niche or the copy, it's the typing. And this is obvious. It makes sense, right? You want to reach people at the exact moment that they're ready to buy. And so look at this example here. We said something. We used a signal-based tool like Triggerify, and we pulled basically a list of people who are engaging in outbound and email-related posts, right? So they're commenting on LinkedIn on like, "Hey, send me this outbound lead magnet." Like those. If you use LinkedIn or maybe even Instagram, you know how people are like, comment the word outbound and I'll send you a free guide on how to set up cold emails, for example, right? So this guy was looking up similar stuff for outbound, and he commented on one of our competitors' posts, and we just scraped them, and we literally sent a copy. "Hey, Sebastian, looks like you might be exploring how to use signal-based prospecting to find new clients." I believe signal-based prospecting was one of the keywords that we had. And then he said, "Hey, sure, I'd like to review it." And how did you know I was exploring that? Because we pulled it from Triggerify. That's how. So timing is king. If you can reach out to people, and this is the workflow that we had for this, by the way, if you're interested, Triggerify, Clay, and we use Smart Lead, and then we send Smart Leader instantly. But if you can reach out to people that are in the market for exactly what you're looking for, it'll work. It'll convert. By the way, this is a very niche and subsect of the, like, basically what I'm trying to say is like your list won't be that big, but again, it's about list quality. List quality is the biggest thing I see with cold email nowadays. Timing and making sure your position is good and all the other stuff is good, but the list quality overall from all three of these examples that I showed you, it's just, you need better lists. You just need better lists, better segmentation, better time, better list, and then the copy and the emails will be so much easier to write. The offer will be so much easier to write, and it'll convert so much better. By the way, if you want to watch a full video and breakdown on how to use signals and whatnot, specifically something like this, watch my video here. I don't know why it's off to the side like that, but watch my video here. It's called "How to Find Clients That Need Your Service ASAP." So ladies and gentlemen, that's literally what's working with cold email nowadays in 2026. Just to summarize for you, you want to, one, cut your list to the right people. Go painfully niche in terms of finding subsections, which kind of relates to the first point. And above everything, if you can nail the timing, you'll get substantially better results. And not one of these, by the way, is to send more. You want to send less, but you want to send better quality. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a B2B business and you want us to set up this entire system for you end to end, and you make $30,000 a month or more, click the link in the description and we could see if we can potentially help you out doing so. If not, and you're just a regular viewer, then I hope you found some value in this. Please press like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.